All right, today on The Explainer, we are tackling what can be a really huge and honestly kind of tricky decision: how to pick an online medical assistant program. We're going to break down a source that gives you a solid roadmap so you can avoid making the wrong choice. Okay, so let's just get right into it. You're looking to become a certified clinical medical assistant, which is awesome, but you've got a big decision ahead of you. And the problem is, when you go online, you're just hit with a wave of options. It's overwhelming, and it's really hard to know which ones are legit and actually worth your money.
And the very first thing you're probably going to notice is this: a massive range in price. We're talking anywhere from $900 all the way up to $4,000. You know, that huge gap is your first major red flag. It's telling you right away that these programs are not all created equal. And spoiler alert, more expensive definitely doesn't always mean better.
And that leads us to the real heart of the matter. What are you actually getting for your money? Some programs are genuinely all-inclusive, which is great, but a lot of them, well, they have hidden costs that can sneak up on you and really add up. And we're talking about the essentials, things you literally can't do without, like textbooks, study guides, or even the fee to sit for your final certification exam.
So how in the world do you cut through all that noise? Well, the source we're looking at gives us a really simple but incredibly powerful tool. It's a 5-point checklist that lets you compare any program you're looking at, apples to apples. Think of this checklist as your secret weapon. It takes this huge, complex decision and just breaks it down into 5 straightforward, manageable pieces. So let's just quickly touch on what they are.
First up, and this is the big one. It's totally non-negotiable: accreditation. The source is crystal clear on this. If a program isn't approved by a major national organization like the NHA, employers might just not recognize it. That's the difference between a valuable career move and a very expensive piece of paper.
Next up, transparent tuition. You have got to be careful here, because that low sticker price you see up front can be super deceptive. You need to be asking specific questions. Are the books included? Are there practice exams? And is that big NHA exam registration fee covered? Because those things can easily tack on hundreds of extra dollars.
And this right here, this pulls together the other 3 pillars of a really solid program. You need flexibility, right? So you can actually learn on your own schedule. You need good exam prep so you feel confident when it's test day. And this one is huge. You want real career support, help finding an externship, help with your resume. That actually helps you get a job, not just a certificate.
So now that we know what to look for, the source also points out some of the most common traps that students fall into when they don't have a structured game plan like this checklist.
The big takeaway here is you've got to be a bit of a detective. Don't get wowed by some slick marketing or a big university name. You have to dig into the details. The source gives this perfect and painful example. Imagine paying $3,000 for a program, only to find out later that the $165 exam fee isn't even included. That is just so frustrating, and it's totally avoidable.
Okay, so we've talked about what to avoid, but what does a program that actually gets this stuff right look like? Well, the source uses its own program, the Clinical Skills Institute, or CSI, as a case study to show us exactly that. When you really look at all the options out there, it pretty much boils down to 2 different ways of doing things. You have the typical program, where that tuition fee is really just the starting point, and then you get nickel and dime for everything else. And then you've got the all-inclusive model, where one flat fee covers the whole shebang, from day 1 all the way to your certification.
And check this out. This comparison chart from the source just lays it all out perfectly. You can see right here that their $900 program is NHA-accredited and includes the exam fee, books, a bunch of mock exams, and career support. But then you look over at these other programs, the ones that cost $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, and you see all these gaps, all these things that'll end up costing you extra later on.
So, you might be wondering, who is this kind of affordable, all-in-one model for? Well, the source makes it clear it's for a whole range of people. It could be for career changers who need to get into the healthcare field fast. It's great for pre-med students trying to get clinical experience. And of course, it's perfect for working adults or parents who just need that flexibility to learn at their own pace.
So, after going through the checklist, the common mistakes, and that case study, what's the big takeaway? What should you be thinking about as you make your final decision?
The source really wraps it all up with this simple but really powerful piece of advice. And the key word here is right. The right program isn't always the cheapest, and it's definitely not always the one with the biggest name. It's the one that gives you the most value and gives you a clear, supportive path to getting your certification without any of those hidden roadblocks.
Look, at the end of the day, this explainer isn't about telling you which specific program to pick.
It's about giving you the tools so you can decide for yourself. By using this 5-point checklist, you can now look at any option out there and feel confident about choosing the one program that truly fits your career goals, your life, and of course, your budget.